Hello everyone, you are watching a fragment of the program Countdown from April 24, 2923. Today is Monday. Bonus story: this March of Victory, about schemers collecting donations in the name of Ukraine's victory. Look at Daily Motion. See the full program on Patreon. And thanks to everyone who is becoming our patrons right now. And I'm moving on to the main thing. Signs of the approaching collapse of the Ukrainian adventure make Russians more and more nervous. At the same time, Ukrainian officials give such reasons that this nervousness is about to develop into chronic psychosis. The head of the main Directorate of Intelligence, Budanov, gave another interview, inadvertently lighting up a map of Moscow in his office. The hint is more than transparent, especially when the drones fly not only to Belgorod, but much further. In the suburbs, 300 meters from residential buildings, a Ukrainian drone with C4 explosives crashed. A local resident discovered it this morning. The drone was equipped with almost 17 kilograms of explosives. These are 30 briquettes of 570 grams each. The drone just ran out of fuel. Moreover, before the fall, the drone flew around Moscow in a semicircle from the northeast side. The flight range of such a drone is more than 800 kilometers. In addition to falling near Moscow, drones massively attack the Belgorod region. Just yesterday, 4 drones flew into the region. One of them dropped a bomb on a telecommunications tower, the second fell on a diesel transformer, and 2 more did not reach their targets. Kyiv politician Viktor Alexnys is indignant. Ukrainian shock drones, kamikazes, are already flying 30 kilometers from the Moscow Ring Road. There is very little left of the Kremlin. Considering that the drone crashed east of Moscow, if it flew in a straight line from the southwest, without flying around the capital, then the range would be enough for it. I wonder if this will be another red line? Alexnys asked. But on the night of April 24th, it arrived beautifully in Sevastopol. According to Gauleiter Rosvashev, the attack took place at 3:30 a.m. One drone was destroyed by an anti-submarine sabotage detachment, and the second exploded itself. Everything happened on the outer roadstead, but all the forces and services are in a state of combat readiness, Rosvashev said, internally preparing to continue. Actually, this was honestly called for by the head of the Joint Press Center of the Defense Forces of Southern Ukraine, Natalia Gimenyuk, who said that the Russians in Crimea can get used to air raid alert and prepare for the cotton season, and added, "I think that they just have to reach the beaches. Things won't work. They've already played enough in the sand." According to the British Institute for the Study of War, Ukraine will be able to conduct a coordinated mechanized offensive operation using 9 brigades in full. This task surpasses all offensive efforts that Ukraine has made so far. Ukrainian forces will have the mine-clearing and bridging capabilities needed to move relatively quickly through prepared defensive positions. At the same time, Russian troops are poorly prepared to repel a large-scale mechanized counteroffensive. Problems with morale and discipline could further impair Russia's overall defensive capabilities. Its grouping in the Kherson region is probably the most disorganized and inferior in the entire theater of operations. The remaining grouping on the eastern bank of the Dnieper consists mainly of heavily understaffed remnants of mobilized units. These units were withdrawn from combat operations after the withdrawal of troops in the fall of 2022. So they may be a little fresher than units on other sectors of the front. Speaking in Washington, former CIA director and former commander of U.S. and NATO forces in Afghanistan, David Petraeus, expressed confidence that Ukraine's counteroffensive would be damn strong, with the main goal of cutting Russia's land corridor to Crimea. Meanwhile, Putin pretends that he has everything under control, and holds a meeting with the chief Adros Turchak, who reports on the issues of the NVO and the results of the work of the United Russia Group. The dictator will urgently need a proven mass, on which he will rely in the process of retaining his own power. It is possible that even more cannibalistic laws will be passed down to the Adros, designed to fetter everything that still moves. In any case, the game goes into the endgame, and even the ghoul Prigozhin howls with might and main about the need to urgently officially end the so-called NVO, declare victory and go on the defensive. Question: what to do with Crimea, which Putin will definitely lose? Kirill Budanov assures that there will be no nuclear hysteria, and the goal of reaching the borders of 1991 is achievable as early as 2023. And we will see this soon. Let GOYDA strike harder.
And this late May, early June, there is going to be a heck of an offensive from the Ukrainians, very likely in the south. It probably has to be roughly the Melitopol area. And they will try to sever the ground line of communications that Russia has established along the southeast coast of Ukraine, linking into Crimea.
Become our patrons now and look further in this program. Chinese ambassador to France Liu She questioned the sovereignty of the post-Soviet countries. After this statement, a group of 80 MEPs sent a letter to French Foreign Minister Catherine Colonna with a call to declare Liu She persona non grata. The systemic players around the Kremlin have their own sorrows and problems. Prigozhin is bleaching Peskov's son, Navalny is attacking Khodorkovsky, and the Navalniks are biting cats. On May 9, they stopped celebrating not only in the Baltic countries and Ukraine, but also in Kazakhstan. The Ministry of Defense of Kazakhstan reported that they would no longer hold a military parade in honor of Victory Day due to cost savings and other tasks. Abrams smelled of this victory merch after the journalist Sotnik published a text about the non-transparent fundraising by some bloggers. A scandal erupted. Ader Muzdabayev called Sotnik a Z-blogger and called for a total ignore. Watch the story on the Daymotion channel. And that is all. See the full version on Patreon. And thanks to everyone who is becoming our patrons right now. He hugged everyone. Glory to Ukraine.